This is a story about a company. Not just any company, mind you. This is a story about my company. About what my company was, and about what my company became. My name is Willie Lohman. You might have heard of me. I was well known once. I owned and managed a thriving business. I thought I was the perfect manager. Such stupidity almost drove my company over the edge. This is the story of my narrow escape. Since the early 80s, I've been the manager of a small company, the Paper Card Bungalow, the place for paper cards. Times were good. We were known nationally for being the best place to source custom-made greeting cards. You know, the kind of cards you just can't find anywhere else. Then something changed. Competitors started up. Competitors grew. Customers started turning to competing companies. I was at my wit's end. I had run this company successfully for over 20 years. These days, however, employees seemed bored, unengaged, apathetic and unhappy. Our customers started complaining about our products. I mean, they were still good as they'd ever been, but these days customers seemed to expect more. They weren't expecting good products most of the time. They were expecting excellent products all of the time. I mean, sure, sometimes our products weren't, well, quite up to scratch, but when our products were subpar, no one knew why. Making a card is a very complex process involving a lot of stages, and when something went wrong, no one knew why or how it could be fixed. I didn't know what to do. My company wasn't worse than before. How could it be? Nothing had changed. The worst part was that no one seemed to care. I told my employees that the company was suffering. The only thing they cared about was getting home at the end of the day. Did they not care about the company? Did they not care about me? Unfortunately, it seemed the world around me had changed. I realized I had to make some changes to keep up with it. But what changes should I make? What changes could I make? Maybe I was the problem. Maybe my time had run out. Maybe this was the inevitable end of my tenure in the company I loved so much. My future looked dark. Then one day, I got lucky. As I was coming back from, taking care of some business, I saw a sign from above, a sign that would change my company, nay, change my life, forever.
Physalis Consulting can help your company to create an effective development strategy and assist you through the development process. This philosophy is called total quality management, continuously satisfying customer requirements at lowest cost by harnessing the commitment of everyone in the organization. We believe there are 5 guiding principles that a company must follow to successfully implement TQM. Prevention, not detection. It is more cost-effective to prevent defects than try to detect them. Inspectors rarely detect more than 80% of faults, and it is demoralizing if you're often being told you have failed from within the company and from customers. For example, in PCB, we taught them to do the things right first time, every time, instead of reaching the end of the assembly line and realizing the errors.
A radical change is needed. The organisation must reorganise in every area to assure company-wide improvement. The card-making company requires changes from the assembly line to the manager's office. They must build quality practices into processes in each of these areas to ensure improvement.
If an organization strives for total quality, is not led by its senior management, it will fail. Senior management, such as the manager of the card company, must lead by example. The organization needs clear and consistent messages being transmitted from the top and not just word of mouth or memos.
Everyone is responsible. Whilst management must lead, there is an individual responsibility to ensure that the entire organization behaves in a total quality manner. That means each individual must take initiative and not rely on someone else. And the organization must have a culture which encourages this behavior. This can be seen on the card assembly line, as employees assist one another in identifying mistakes in the process.
Continuous improvement. When you improve the quality of your product or service to a point where you know that you are better than anyone else, two things will happen. 1. Your customers' expectations will rise to meet your new level of offering and then carry on rising. 2. Your competitors do all they can to reduce your competitive advantage by improving their own service. Once initiated, TQM is a continuous and never-ending journey. The card company should expect to see continuous change throughout the organization in order to continuously improve.
So, how did TQM work out for us? Well, within a year, we'd moved out of our old, run-down, ugly buildings and built a brand new headquarters. And me, well, I got a fancy new office. Physalis Consulting sent in TQM specialists to teach us everything we needed to know about TQM, its philosophies, and how to implement it in our business. For instance, one of our problems was that our final product was too inconsistent. Many products wouldn't fit the customer specifications, and we were never quite able to figure out why. Physalis taught us that this was due to the many inconsistencies in the stages of production. At any given stage, the result would be within the margins of the specification, but not necessarily that close to the ideal. Throughout the production, these problems would stack up, and the final product would be too far outside of the specification. Thanks to Physalis, we made sure to maximize the quality in every stage of the production. This allowed us to create more consistent output and deliver perfect products, again and again and again and again. Our staff appreciated this emphasis on quality and the recognition that each of their individual jobs were all important in delivering a final high-quality product. For me, TQM became an eye-opener, a continuous learning process. In working with Physalis Consulting, I got involved in and became familiar with every stage of the production. This involvement and communication with employees enabled me to come up with improvements that I otherwise wouldn't have spotted. The employees noticed the difference, and I noticed the change in them. They used to be careless about their work, not because they weren't competent, but because they didn't realize how much their work mattered. Since switching to TQM, everyone in the organization realizes that total quality in every job however small, is crucial in delivering great output. Employees are valued and they feel valued, and their care in their work, as well as their significantly increased morale, reflects this. Other companies have also used TQM to their advantage.
Hello, my name is I.B. Miller, the CEO of IBM. We implemented total quality management in 1985. We have saved $5 million over 5 years and still continue saving. Thank you, Physalis Consulting.
So, yeah, one could say that TQM led to significant financial gains for me personally. But TQM gave me more than that. I realized it's not all about profits. It's not all about money. There is more to business and more to life. Through TQM, I became able to relate to my employees. I realized they are more than that. They are crucial assets to the company. Through TQM, they became great employees, but I also got to know them as great people. I realized that we, together, as a team, could take the company to places previously unthought of. I am delighted to have discovered TQM, and I am looking forward to using it to take our company into the future.